Hello, my creative friends. My name is Heather North. You can find me on Instagram at Heather's Creative Blessings. Today is Wednesday, April 6th, 2022, and I am so glad you joined me for another Flosstube Stitchy talk. It has been, I think it's only been a week since I did my last video. I have kind of been working really hard on just a few patterns. I'm working on it until it's finished and then going to the next one, and really enjoying my spring stitching. It's fun to get things to a finish because it feels like for a long time you're just working on things and nothing's coming to a finish, at least for me, and then all of a sudden it just snowballs. So in my last video I shared that I was really close to 4,000 subscribers. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I am now at 4,000 subscribers. If you go back and watch my first our first few YouTube or Flosstube, videos, you'll see that I share a little more about it. But I was at about 3,000, give or take, when I started doing Flosstubes. I was mostly a paper crafting channel before that, and I took a year or two creative break. I just had no mojo, no creative energy, and then got back into doing some different things other than paper crafting, and one of those was cross stitch, and I just fell hard for cross stitch, and so I started doing my Flosstubes. I wasn't doing it to get subscribers or for business or anything other than just sharing my love of cross stitch and connecting with you. So while I am aware of the numbers, because when I go on my back end, it's one of the first things I see when I'm like commenting on people's comments on my channel and things like that, or loading my video, things like that. But it fluctuates, because even though it would go up, it would also go down, because those of you who are interested in cross stitching may subscribe, or hopefully will, but those who were more interested in paper crafting, of course they're going to unsubscribe, because I'm not doing that anymore. So the numbers just kind of fluctuated up and down, and it didn't really know where it was. But now that I'm 1,000 over that, I feel like at least those 1,000 subscribers that are new, those are all Flosstube watchers. It's just really exciting to me. And a little side note, just for, I guess, posterity's sake, I was checking in on comments on, like I said, on the back end, and my husband was next to me, and I said, honey, I'm at 3,999 subscribers. And he said, what's your YouTube channel? I want to be your number 4,000. And I said, it makes me nervous thinking you might watch me. He said, I love watching my baby. So if he does watch me, well, pretty sure he'll have his sound down, because I would bore him to tears. That's one of the other reasons I'm doing Flosstube. I'd bore him to tears with as much as I talk about cross stitching and patterns and whips and challenges and FFOs and all those things. It's bad enough that I go, honey, look, honey, look. So anyways, he ended up being my 4,000th subscriber. So thank you, honey, for that. And it was a good thing that I don't know, interesting that I did it at the time I did, because when I came back, there was 4,006. So he would have missed it if I hadn't checked it right then. But yeah, I'm above 4,000 now. I will be watching it for the 5,000, because I've already started putting some things away. I want to do a giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. It doesn't really mean anything, except it's just kind of nice to know that I'm talking to other people. And that's why I love it when you comment, when you share what you're stitching on right now, or maybe the newest pattern that caught your eye, or what colors you like to stitch with, any of those things, or comments on my video, because I like that interaction with you. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here talking to my phone, which is kind of weird. I'm not alone in that, but you know. All right, let's get to some stitching. So WIPGO, I had this all in order and now it's not. Did I turn it around backwards? No, this is it. Sometimes not all the connections are being made up here. For WIPGO, I had the numbers called, okay, let me backtrack, because I do get comments when I forget to say this. WIPGO is the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I try and link her in every video where I talk about WIPGO, so you can watch her video and find out more about it. You can also look up WIPGO 2022, I believe, on Instagram, and you can look her up on Facebook. But it's basically a way for us to work on our WIPs. She calls 2 numbers a month. And this month my numbers were slotted for November Sampler of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks, which I've already completed, and I have not started a new one. But I think I only have 3 months left that I want to do, so I will be starting that. And also, the second number was Counting is Hard by Luminous Fiber Arts. What I had done was count. And my goal was to get the bird done. It's funny because last week I said, well, it's a good thing this is the only thing I had because I need to finish counting and get down here so I can get placement to even start the bird. Well, I tell you what, I pulled this for one of my No New Starts road trip challenges, and I could not put this down. So for the past 3 or 4 days, I've been working on this exclusively, and I've come to a finish. There are a few color changes. Let me show you the piece, and then I'll come back to this and tell you the changes that I made. The changes I made were not because of anything with the design. I love Misty's design. The changes are because I want this to go in my stitching room, and so I kind of wanted it to match my stitching. I added in a little more of the mint aqua to it, and I also added in some pink. I cherried up the strawberry. Actually, I pinked up the strawberry and cherried up the tomato. And here is my piece. I love it so much. Okay, I'll go in close, even though the colors will be kind of off, and show you. So I made the strawberry pink. I did change the colors a little bit. I'll share the colors with you. I made the pins 3 different colors that are elsewhere in the piece. I added pink to this. I made this in the pink. I think it's Color and Cotton Taffy. And it was so light it didn't really show up. So then I added in that darker pink, which you see in the strawberry. And then I added in brown so you could see it better. It just wasn't quite showing up. The over-dyed flosses, the one thing about it is you're going to get different colors in different parts of the strand. So depending on what part of the strand you're using, when you stitch something, it may show up differently. And then I added pink to that Quaker. Then it's funny because I got almost done. I was to the word hard. I just had that and this to finish. And I realized that the counting bird had made a mistake. Like there was a blank space in the X, or they had missed an X, or I think she did that on purpose. Like it's a funny little play on counting is hard. And I loved it. And so I needed a little more pink to kind of balance out where it was in the pattern. And so I added or created, I guess, my own little heart and put the little heart stitch in between. Here's where the colors are a little more true. So here's the original. Let's see if I can get both of them in there. You could see where the heart wasn't there before, and the Quaker motifs were all brown. I'm using the called for browns that she called for, but on my piece they look a lot darker than on hers. The bird is the same. I changed the spool of thread to be more of an aqua. I changed the scissors to be more of the mint green that's up here, and I used the overdyed flosses I used were from Color and Cotton, and they were left over from the Just My Type. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'll try and edit that out. Oh my goodness, it is spring, so my allergies. Whew. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, I was using the Color and Cotton floss that I had used in Just My Type because I really loved those colors and I thought they would go great either in here or in my stitching room. So the other changes I made, if I don't mention a color, I use the called for DMC that she calls for, but Color and Cotton being Cherry, that was for DMC 347. I just like the brighter Like I said, more of a cherry red. The Color and Cotton Oceana, which is the color I use for the thread and the X's. Color and Cotton Sea Foam, which is the mint color, which is very similar to the DMC. It's the mint I use in the top of the tomato and the scissors. It's very close to the DMC color, but just a little bit different. And then Color and Cotton Taffy. That is the light pink. And Color and Cotton Barn Red, that's the color that's the strawberry. So there's my finish. And the color conversions. I love Color and Cotton. This, okay, the fabric is Sparrow 28 count Lugana from Luminous Fiber Arts. She's also the one who created this pattern. And I don't know whether it was just the fabric that she used or just a good stitching session week I had, but or the new DMC. All the stitches seemed to lay flat. They were just so beautiful stitched on this. So I really, really like, Misty Purcell is the owner and designer behind Luminous Fiber Arts. She does a fabulous job. She doesn't dye a whole ton of fabric, but when she does, I like to grab a piece if I can. She sells out pretty quickly because it's just so wonderful to stitch on. And like I said, I was noticing that my stitches laid really flat. One change I would make, I would wait till the very end to add in these long stitches. Let me see if you can see. These are like long, first you cross stitch the bobbin and then you do these long stitches over them and some long stitches in with this thread here. I would wait till the very end because I ended up messing with this as I was stitching other parts, and so I wish I would have just waited, but you know, it's fine. I'll just move it around. It's fine. But if you're doing it, I would suggest just waiting. Just waiting till the end. So both of my WIPGO pieces are already done. It's only the 6th of April. Like I said, I'll pull out another Country Cottage Needleworks and start that one. Blackbird Designs weekend. So last year, Brenda and the Serial Starter here on YouTube, they're also on Instagram separately. They started the kind of like the Stitch All the Blackbirds. So they coined the hashtag BBD for Blackbird Designs, BBD Weekend SAL. I don't know if it's still going on, but I think it should be. I think it's a great thing to stitch all the Blackbirds and have the first weekend of the month dedicated to it. So I pulled out my Blackbird designs and worked on a couple of them this weekend. Hold. Okay. We have someone coming to do our pest control. They've missed the last 2 times they said they were coming, and they only come once a quarter. So I had to make sure that I was here and paying attention. And so yeah, he's going to go hopefully rid us of all of the pests that are starting to come out because it's spring. So I was talking about Blackbird designs. Sorry for the detour. So I don't know if BBD Weekend SAL is still going on Instagram or not. I think it should be. I think it was a great thing, and I'm going to continue to do it because I really like setting aside that first weekend of the month knowing I will be working on my Blackbirds because I've started to amass a little collection. The first one I pulled out was Basket of Cherries from the Garden Club Series 1. And it's really interesting. Do you see how blue the bluebird is and how kind of vibrant the greens are? And this, it's either the dye lot that I got of the weeks, or it could be the fabric, but it changes the look. So it's definitely more of a gray. But when I was doing the chest of the bird, it was so interesting to me how those 2 colors played together and changed into just looking like one color. So it was really fun. I've been using just the called for on this pattern. The guy is sweeping in front of here and the cat's like, what's going on? What's going on? So you might see Gandalf going in and out. I don't know where I was last time. I think I had these 2 cherries here. I don't think I had the bird at all. I think I did the bird this weekend. I could be wrong about that, but there we go. It's coming along, and it's gonna be kind of small. I mean, I know I could look at the stitch count and know, but something about stitching it up changes it. This is a mystery piece, I believe, of Color and Cotton Ada. I would say 14 count probably, but that's Basket of Cherries. And then I pulled out Early Christmas Morning, which is my other current Blackbird Designs WIP. My other thing is I have to get one of these done before I can start, and I might even wait till the next year to start another Blackbird Designs. I don't know if I have, oh, I do have one more, Honeysuckle Manor. I haven't worked on it all yet this year, but I want to get these current WIPs done before I start on a new one, and I definitely want to get them done this year. So Early Christmas Morning, I have changed so many colors in this one. And I've used some of the called for as well. I've just added in some more. Oops. Instead of doing it on the drum, I'm doing it all on one piece. So let me show you this first. Oops. This is Early Christmas Morning by Blackbird Designs. And you can see they did it in a drum, but I'm changing it to all one piece. Definitely. And I've got notes in there, so the color changes are all kind of over the place. But if you're interested, I can share it. Definitely when I finish, I should share what color changes that I made. This is on Color and Cotton 28 count Lugana egg in the color Eggnog. Isn't that perfect? That's probably the color of the eggnog. That's probably the color is truer right there. I changed the colors of the Quaker stars or snowflakes or whatever you want to call them. I changed some of the greens to be more green because they were kind of brownish. I don't know all. Oh, I did the DMC shiny instead of, it called for, I think, Classic Colorworks tarnished gold. It was just an overdyed floss in gold, and I did it in more of that. It's kind of a champagne gold silver, which is not fun to stitch with, but it looks really good. And I did that on the top of there too. So as you can see, I'm very close. I just need to finish Christmas. So finish going across here and here. I've got 3 Quaker stars and some snowflakes to put in, and I will be done. So even though it's out of season, which makes it not as fun to work on, it is fun to get close to a finish. I could put it away until Christmas in July, but I think the motivation to have it completely finished will win out. It's in my Fiddle Feathers bag, the Comfort and Joy. I love this bag so much. I like all my project bags. All right, what is up next? Did I tell you I have 1, 2, 3 finishes? I don't think I've shared with you. I was going back and forth. Did I share these? Were they done in the last video? I don't think they were done in the last video, but they were done shortly after. So this is Flea Market Flowers. Yeah, I don't know if I put it, it was in there, so I think I put more stitches in it, but I'm not sure. I think maybe I added the purple. You'll see, because I don't think I had done that yet, but I think I had done the kind of the Ukrainian sunflower underneath. But I think what I added was these. That's how that's coming along. I think I need to make a plan for this, like 1 flower a day, one of the little flowers or something, or 1 length of thread in a day to get that to a finish. I think I might do that, because otherwise this thing is just gonna linger and linger and linger, and I'm not even really halfway done yet. So yeah, I think I need to do that. That's a good plan. Do you guys, what do you do when you have a piece that just seems to keep staying in your WIP pile? What motivates you to work on it? The problem is I just have so many things I want to do. So here we're moving to my finishes. This one was so close to being done. This is Tulips with Chick by the Snowflower Diaries. I think I called it Snowflake Diaries last time, but it's definitely Snowflower. I think this is a freebie on her blog. So the colors I used were DMC 413, Classic Colorworks Snowball, Classic Colorworks 4-Leaf Clover, Color and Cotton Banana, Classic Colorworks Peach Sherbet, Classic Colorworks Little Pink Peony, Color and Cotton Orchid. And before you start saying these are a lot of colors, they are, but these are all leftovers. I just pulled springy and purple colors from my stash, and so it's pretty easy to pretty easy to add up a lot of colors when you're doing it that way. You don't need this many colors. Where was I? Color and Cotton Orchid. Did I say that one yet? Classic Colorworks Pumpkin Harvest, Color and Cotton Purple Rain, Color and Cotton Lollipop. And some things like the pumpkin is just his little feet, the chick's little feet and his little beak. You know what? This is not finished. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, this will be finished today. I thought it was finished. I just realized it's not. Oh, I have less than 10 stitches to go on it. Isn't that sweet? I am thinking about attempting my first like stand-up. I haven't done one of those. I need to watch the tutorial again. I know Vonna Pfeiffer has a good one, and I think maybe Java Girl Stitches, has she done one? So I thought I was done. The other piece I have in here, it's very springy, is Spring Doxology from Rabbit Valley Studio. It's such a sweet piece, and I'm afraid I chose the wrong fabric. This is Opal 14 count 8 from Picture This Plus. And the reason I think I may have chosen the wrong one is it's just so light and so pale against my fabric. And I thought the fabric was dark enough, but now I'm thinking it's probably not. I don't know. I think it's okay. It's very precious. So this one, I believe I want to finish in a pillow. I just think that would make a cute little pillow to put into the tiered tray. Or maybe on my vintage sewing machine I got for Christmas. Oh, the little, okay, just one more, just one more look. Look at the little bunnies and the birds. It's just so precious. I love it. What is next? I can't believe I didn't finish that spring. And I didn't notice it. Good thing I noticed it before I finished it, right? Okay, this one has been on my whip list a long time. This is Just My Type by It's So Emma. It's been on my whip list in part because I love it so much and I don't want it to end. I love the colors and the design and the elements in it. And I'm using all of the called for color and cotton. I did it on the whitewash board. I think 16, it might be smaller than 16 count. Minimum of 16 count. Where's my board? Here it is. It's funny, it's by Fabric Flare. And the fabric is, and it starts out really stiff, but the more you use it, the softer it gets. So there is my Just My Type. Colors more true back here than close up, but I did change, I used the called for colors, but I changed some of the places I put them. So like this heart here, I made it that softer pink that's taffy. And then I think I may have changed one other heart. Is that No, maybe not. But for the most part, I did just what was called for. Unless I made an error. Which happens. Just my type. Gotta love it. You have to. I guess you don't have to. And I just noticed. Oh, it wasn't this one. It was the other one. My needle's still on that other whip. I need to take it out. This is in a Dot Goose Designs bag. An older one of hers, I believe, but still. The fun thing about finishing one of these projects up, among other things, is that I get to use the bag again for something else. Although sometimes I'm just using bags I got from Amazon. So this is the whip I pulled out this morning after I finished counting this hard. I should say at lunch. After I finished counting this hard. And this is Peace by Madame Chantilly. This is a freebie on her blog. It even says free chart. For kind of the prayers for peace, stitch for Ukraine type of a thing. So whenever I pull this out, I say a prayer for those over in Ukraine and those that love them. I have changed the colors a little bit. I'm just going to list off what I am using. I haven't used them all yet because I couldn't find some of the colors, but because they were sold out at the store. I shared that I think last week. 3823. These are all DMC, unless I say differently. 503163 3813. Then I wrote brown, so it must be a random brown, or I haven't chosen the color yet. And then 8153325. And for the white, I'm using Color and Cotton Pearl. This fabric looks very similar in the bag. It looks like the eggnog, but it's just a little bit different. And it's my favorite, one of my favorites for sure. And that's Chickpea by Color and Cotton, 28 count Lugana. You can see I need to take off that nails. I need to do my nails. Sorry, you gotta look at my nails. And after I said that, I'm like, if I could cut that out, I would. So it's gonna end up being a heart wreath, but oopsies. What is my problem? Let's try this here. Oh, let's do the colors. It washes out when I get really close, but hey, we have a sunny day. It might reach 60 degrees today. I think it will. It's getting warmer. And I think it's supposed to be 70 to 74 tomorrow. It's supposed to be cold and rainy again this weekend, but it definitely feels like spring. And you may be able to hear that in my nose because of my allergies, but I'll take it. So that is Madame Chantilly's Peace. And those are my whips and finishes, or thought I finished, for the week. Before I get to haul, I did spend some time this weekend in my sewing room. One of the things I meant to show you last week that I forgot was in that Fat Quarter Shop box, and it was the Lori Holt Zippy Bags panel. It's on decorator weight fabric, and it has several different, I think there's 8, 4 large and 4 small, I could be wrong, but there's something like 8 bags basically printed on this panel, and you cut it apart and sew it together. And I watched Lori Holt's video like I don't know how many times, at least 3 or 4. And then I watched somebody else's video. It was Missouri Star Quilt Company had done Minky Kim had done a diagonal bag, a diagonal zipper bag, which was really cool. And so I took some of what she did and then put it into this bag, and then I was like, oh, it's too bulky. But anyways, here's my Zippy bag from Lori Holt. I've added the little spool charm, which I may take it off and put on another one, but I just had to put it on this to start with. It has the double zippers, So you can go one way or the other. You could leave, I think the point is you can kind of leave the cute little tag on one side and then just pull open the other. Since I have it open right now, this is what I ended up lining it with. And I want to say Minnick and Simpson, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry. So what I saw with Missouri Star was Minky Kim had actually lined, or not lined, she did binding on the inside, which is really a cool way to do it. But her bag didn't have the front and back meeting. It was just basically on the two sides because it was, anyways, for me it was extra bulky. So I ended up cutting off the edges. Those aren't as pretty, but when you're opening it like this, you don't see any raw edges inside. I really like that, but I think it'd be better to just bind the outside. In hindsight, I mean, you do what you gotta do. So the front, I had to do the zipper. I had to do the tag on this side because I really wanted that more of the blue aqua color teal than the yellow. So the yellow's on the back. But here's the front. I did quilting on the top part. I did a little bit of quilting, which is hard to see. It's very hard to see on camera, but I basically just quilted around. The happiness is a full bobbin. Look at all them sewing machines. And then this is the back. And I did quilt that. This is pretty easy because I just went every 3 motifs and did a line, and then same this way, every 3 motifs I did another line. So that's my Zippy bag. This is the larger size. And I'm excited to have another bag to play with. Or maybe give away. This is not my favorite one. I decided to choose one that I liked, but that wasn't necessarily my favorite to do my first one, so I can hopefully make all my mistakes on this one. I didn't make too many. I just didn't necessarily like the choices that I made. Okay, pest guy just left. Hopefully no more spiders and creepy crawlies. Which is good because I need to go out there and pull some weeds now that spring has started. That's what it means, right? The weeds come up with the tulips. Okay. Excuse me. I don't have very much haul or happy mail to share with you. But I did get my fabric and floss of the month, or silk of the month, from Stitch Me. It does not say what month it is. Usually it does. It could have been March. It's probably March. I probably got it the last week in March. So this is cinnamon, 32 count Jobelin. Oh, look how much it matches my sweater. Huh. Yeah. So that's a pink. It's a little bit darker than my sweater. Since I don't have very much, I'll go ahead and pull this out and share with you. Yep. This is going in my Valentine's bag. You know what I love pink with? That aqua. Pink and aqua, pink and mint, I think go lovely together. And speaking of pink and mint going lovely together, there's the flosses. So let me pull them out and I'll show them to you. I'll show them on the whiteboard because I think that gives a truer color. But see if I can do this like this. Probably not. This is Seafoam. Favorite. Love Seafoam. And Mint, which is like a lighter shade of Seafoam. You see where I'm going here? Every time I think, oh, I'm going to stop getting the silks of the month or fabrics of the month. I mean, this is what this was March. That makes sense, right? Green for March, but it wasn't just all shamrock green. It's got those mints that I love. This is called Plankton. I have to go over here. This is Ocean Green. And then this is Pine. Be great for any leaves or trees, depending on what you're going for. But I love those first two are just, but I like all of these greens. And then I'm going to try and do this without dropping them all on the ground. Put it with that cinnamon, which the next thing I want to do, since I'm trying to not start all the things this year, is I am trying to kit up what I want to start when the No New Starts opens up again. Somebody just asked me, just before I came down here, made a comment on YouTube asking about No New Starts. It's a Facebook group. It only opens up for a short time each year, at the end of the year, for you to participate in the following year. And the reason for that is they have prizes and raffles and things, and so everybody's kind of on the same even playing field to start out with, and you have all year to earn raffle tickets for the end of year, I think. I'm only participating, this is my first year participating. I'm not a part of the admin team or anything like that, but that's where the Rift Challenge came from. That's where a lot of the challenges I'm doing. I'm in the 22-22 category. There's some people that are in No New Starts. They do absolutely 0 starts. They only work on their whips. And then you can go in the Work Your Whips category, which is the next one down. And that means that maybe one of your whips you either had to restart or you started one new thing, but you're not completely out. I think it's a restart is what you're allowed. And then, because I think there's only 3 categories, but there could be more. And then there's the 22-22, and that's where you have 22 slots you can fill, and only 22 slots. And you need to work those whips and either clear up a spot so you can add in a new one, or you just work on those. And so, and then there are different caveats within there. If it's all in the same piece, it's considered the same, and those kinds of things. So when you see me starting something new, like that piece by Madame Chantilly, that was for Ukraine. That's obviously just happened this year, so it was a new start. But I only have, I think, 15 of those 22 slots even filled yet. And what I'm trying to do, when I pull out a project in 2022, I'm working on it until it's done. I do have whips from before 2022 that are still in there, and I'm trying to work through those, but I will bring in like smalls and work those in between. And so some of those are new starts. And for me, like the sampler of the month from Country Cottage Needleworks, those are all the same to me, even though they're all different projects, if that makes sense. But since they're on different pieces of cloth, they would each be considered a new start, but I just keep that slot on my board open. It may not make sense to anybody but me. It doesn't have to be that confusing. This is just the way that I'm doing it and trying to stay within the rules. But yeah, that's No New Starts. I don't know what made me think of that, but something did. Oh, where you find it. It is a Facebook group. They will open up, and if I'm still in the No New Starts in December, hopefully I will be. If I'm still in it in December, then I'll let you know when it opens up. Or if I'm not in it and I find out, then I will let you know when it opens up. Anyways, these were my Bestitch Me fabric and silk of the month. And then this is Stitchy adjacent. I was going to wear this, but it's actually getting kind of warm. I could actually take this off. It's lighter weight, but also black tends to wash things out. But this is just representing, this is my friend Tammy and her daughters opened up French Toast and Company, French Toast and Co. Mercantile. And so this, hold on. Sorry, I hate doing all these edits because it means that the videos are just going to take longer to load, and I hope it's not too choppy for you. But of course, I just got a message in on my phone, so where was I? French Toast and Company. So my friend and her daughter opened this shop. It's called French Toast and Company Mercantile. I got one of her sweatshirts. It is so nice. It's so soft. It's also thin, which is perfect for a day like today. And I was going to wear it, but when I do, well, first of all, I have to wear it. I was going to put it on after the dogs went to bed because they are white, gray, and black, and their hair is everywhere. But also, where black kind of washes out on the screen, so I'll just show it to you. But this is my friend Tammy's Shop, and they're only open a couple of days a month. They kind of open for special events, but I was able to make this one. And what it is it's in Centralia, Washington. It's actually in the building where Wayland Quilt Works used to be. So if you're familiar with that, and there was a quilt shop before Wayland took over too, in that same spot. That's where she has her shop. And it's vintage and farmhouse decor, shabby chic a little bit. So some is antique, some of it is, she calls it, I think they call it junk hunting or treasure hunting. And so she's got some things that may be a little bit older or antiques and some that are new. And she changes it out every month and changes it with the season. Well, one of the things I got was something I'm sure my husband would have loved to roll his eyes at, but because it's broken, it looks a little dingy, this is rusted, but I just thought this is gonna be the perfect finishing piece for something. I don't know what yet, but something. Don't you just love it? And I paid a little bit too much because then I saw they have, oh look, it's like tongue and groove in there. But it is, I mean, I don't know, there's just something about it. So, and I was supporting my friend, so who cares if I spent too much, right? And then she had these milk glass style. I don't know if this is antique or new because she had 4 of them, so it was definitely a set, whether it was a set at one time or if she just got them. I am, like I said, I am not sure. But this, I know you've seen some people do this. This is just the perfect little scissor holder. And it has, the way that it got blown out, I guess, or designed, it looks like little hearts to me. Some of them didn't look so much like a heart. Some of them look more like an oval, but these look like little hearts. So I grabbed this one. I just think it's so precious, and I had been wanting to get one of these for my scissors, but it would also be cute with a little finish in there. I think that I've got some little fake speckled eggs out in the hallway here on the hall table, and so I thought I would just put some eggs in here and set it on there for now, but then I can use it for my stitching later on. So that was French Toast and Mercantile. This is probably not relevant to you unless you live in this area because they're not online or anything yet. But if you are, they're having their Spring Has Sprung event May 6th, 7th, and 8th. That's probably Mother's Day weekend. Yep. Mother's Day, they're open 11 to 2. You can see their hours. Is it? Yes. 404 South Tower Street in Centralia, Tower Avenue, sorry, in Centralia, Washington. Also, if you're coming down here for this, Primrose Primitives is also in Centralia. I think it's on South Tower Street as well, but the other end, it's about a block away from the library if you're familiar at all with Centralia. They've got great home decor and furniture type pieces. She and her husband, they make the wood pieces that they have for home decor. They've got like, for right now it's spring, so they've got bunny cutouts that are painted as well. And they have a mason jar that is actually kind of like a wooden vase. So you put like fake or silk flowers in it. They've got tulips in it, but a little mason jar cut out and put together and painted. Kind of reminds me of the 141 design company, or I might have that wrong, but there's another YouTuber, Flosstuber, that her and her husband have been making cutout designs for us to do finishing on, especially with Stitching with the Housewives. She's a big Stitching with Housewives fan. And so it kind of reminded me of that. They're doing stuff like that, but it's already painted and ready for home decor. And then they find pieces of furniture and they refurbish them and sand them and fix them and paint them. And so I have a new cabinet from them. It's not new. I mean, it belonged to somebody else before they fixed it, but I'm pretty excited. Hi, Jasper. I'm pretty excited to be getting that. And if you're down in Centralia anyways for this, if you go down for Mother's Day weekend, you might as well check them out because I believe they'll be open too. Ooh, they're gonna have flower bouquets. I think my husband or my kids are gonna have to go see that. So Stitchy adjacent, because they did have some pieces, both of those places had pieces like this, little finds that you can find to finish or store. The Primrose Primitives definitely has cabinets you could use for storing your cross stitch. Jasper, he's trying to scratch his head on the corner of this. Okay, with that, I'm gonna go before anything else gets knocked over. I hope you guys have a great stitchy week. Thank you again for subscribing, and be sure and let me know what you stitched on while you watch this video in the comments down below. I'll see you guys next week.